Good evening, friends, and welcome to the 37th anniversary St. Francis Center Gala, virtual style, Together We Serve, which will start at 7 p.m. sharp. My name is Andrew Spinks, and I'm coming to you live from my office at this SFC headquarters, where I serve as Development Director. We can't thank you enough for being here this evening, and early too. So many of you in the crowd tonight have supported us for so many years as donors, as volunteers, as champions. You are our community, and tonight we celebrate you because together we serve. Thanking you is our charge tonight. Throughout the challenges of this pandemic, you have stuck with us while we have served on without ceasing. We can't be in mission without you, and we know that even when we are separated by health concerns, we feel your support and prayers. So thank you. Now is the time to check your setup. You're early, that's great. The best setup to have is a device to watch us on and a separate device like your phone to raise your paddle on. You should have a text from 56651 that includes your personal link. No text? No problem. Contact Sarah, who is standing by with Boulder Events at 720-400-1519 to solve any technical issues that you may have. We're here to build community and have fun tonight. Thanks for being early, and we'll see you in a little bit. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the 37th anniversary St. Francis Center Gala, Together We Serve, virtual style, which will start in about 10 minutes. My name is Andrew Spinks, and I'm coming to you live from my office at SFC headquarters, where I serve as development director. We can't thank you enough for being here this evening. So many of you in the crowd tonight have supported us for so many years as donors, as volunteers, as champions. You are our community, and tonight we celebrate you because together we serve. We want to specifically thank our sponsors for tonight's event at this moment. Our sponsors have underwritten this virtual event and given us the means to come before you and tell you our story. We have raised almost $80,000 from our generous sponsors, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts. These are the businesses and individuals in our community that walk the walk. Now is the time, with 10 minutes to go, to check your setup. The best setup is to have a device to watch on and a separate device like your phone to raise your paddle on. You should have a text from 56651 that includes your personal link for the paddle. If you didn't get a text, just text the word St. Francis, STFRANCIS, all one word, to 56651, and that'll get you registered. We're here to build community and have fun tonight, and we're so happy you're joining us. We understand that it's not as much fun when it's virtual, but we can feel you out there tonight, and we're really looking forward to a great evening. So 10 more minutes and we'll get the gala going. Thanks for being here. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the 37th anniversary St. Francis Center Gala, Together We Serve, which will start in 1 minute. My name is Andrew Spinks, and I am coming to you live from my office at St. Francis Center headquarters, where I serve as Development Director. We want to interact with you tonight, so don't forget to use the chat function to tell us how you're doing. If you need to freshen your beverage, adult or otherwise, I would hop to it as the show will start in less than a minute now. If you have any questions, you're having some technical difficulties, we've got people standing by. We've got Sarah at Boulder Events. She's at 720-400-1519. She's here to help. So by all means, reach out to her if you're struggling participating with us tonight, because we want you to be here participating with us. And Sarah's here to answer any questions you have. We can't thank you enough for being here this evening. So many of you in the crowd tonight have supported us for so many years, as donors, as volunteers, as our champions. You are our community. And tonight, even though we're apart and we're in this virtual setting, we celebrate you because together we serve. And now, without further ado, it is my honor to introduce our newest member of the St. Francis Center Volunteer All-Star Team and his day job, anchorman extraordinaire for Channel 2 KWGN. Give it up now for Chris Parente.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Parente. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you're ready for a virtual shindig like none other. I am the morning anchor at Channel 2 News, and I'm a proud volunteer there at St. Francis Center. We'll play a game tonight. It's my favorite game. It's called, Hey, Guess Who's Wearing Pants? Because things are different. I know they are. We've all gotten very used to our Zoom calls. We've gotten used to doing things this way. And by the way, Joan Mayberry, good to see you. Joan actually turned me on to St. Francis Center earlier in the summer. I call this the worst year where good things still happen. You know, in 2020, I got married, and I got married just like what we're doing tonight. I got married on Zoom. And also in 2020, my husband and I looked out our window and we saw the tent cities that were rising up. And that's when Joan said, hey, why don't you check out St. Francis Center? Maybe you could get involved and be of service. We did. And that's another huge blessing in my life. So beautiful things can happen even in a year like 2020. And by the way, I'm going to be reading your comments throughout the night too. We'll chit chat there while we're drinking our beverages, which I do have. And we're going to have a good time. It's really all about telling the stories of the people that we serve and sharing the stories so that others can know how important it is to get the money to do the work that St. Francis Center does. So it's really cool to have you all here tonight. And we do, I believe, Tom, have a video to start us off, kind of give us a sense of the history, the background of St. Francis Center. Take a look.
Chris?
I'm here, Tom. We got the video or what?
Just in just a moment, okay?
Whoa, back it up.
Back it up here.
Here, I work on TV for a living, and yet if there's not a teleprompter, I'm totally lost. So let me let me back it up a little bit because I have a couple things I do have to pass along. I do want to say that Amanda Pennington, who's our chat promoter, is in the chat, who's answering your questions, letting you know what's what. I also, there you are. Woot, 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 woot. Hands to the sky, my friend. It's good to see you. So Amanda, did you want to say anything real quick before we get to Tom?
I just want to say chat away. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to connect with you over chat. And we just want to hear what you're thinking and feeling tonight. And I'll be here to respond. Back to you, Chris. Back to you, Tom.
All right. Now, and Tom, your moment's coming. Your moment's coming. I do also want to say quickly that Linda Shaw, who's putting this whole thing on, much more organized than I am. Linda from Boulder Events, she's on board tonight to talk about some of the instructions on how to get things going and how to really get involved and participate. Right, Linda?
Absolutely, Chris. And, you know, Amanda and I aren't holding it against you for trying to cut us out on our big moment here. So, yeah, we're happy to be here. And I just want to make sure everybody out there understands how things are working and feels comfortable. So just a reminder, as Andrew already said, if you have any questions, if you don't understand how to participate in the show this evening, please call Sarah at 720-400-1519. you should have a text from 56651, and that is how you can make a donation tonight at any time. And we are just thrilled to be here. So thanks. Back to you, Chris.
All right, good to see both of you. Hands in the air. Now, Tom, now let me give you the proper introduction. Let me give you your due. I have to say, first of all, like so many of us, I want to thank you for what you do for St. Francis Center and for allowing a place like this to flourish and expand and grow. You've been at the helm, my good friend, for 25 years as the executive director, and you're only 35, which I don't know how you pulled it off, but you do a great job. And it really is an inspiration to all of us. And I want to thank you. I want to welcome you to the gala. This really is in large part due to your work. So now I will disappear and let you take the stage, my friend.
And before you go too far, Chris, thank you for being our master of ceremonies tonight. We really appreciate your energy and appreciate you for helping us out and being a volunteer with us. And just a little promo here, you can see Chris during the week in the mornings on Channel 2. And then on Saturdays, you can see Chris as a volunteer down at St. Francis Center. So you're able to see him quite a bit. Come some Saturday and meet him in person. Just want to thank you all for joining us this evening. You're in the comfort of your homes, but we're not able to shake hands or hug each other. But know that that's what's in our hearts. We appreciate you being here. It means a lot. We have a really inspiring program, I think, tonight for all of you. So we want you to sit back or move forward in your seats and enjoy. This has been a challenging year, probably for everyone. For some people more than others. It's been tough. And it's had some very inspiring moments, people, and activities. On March 16th, as everyone was closing their buildings, going home as directed, St. Francis Center stayed open. Our people needed us. We were designated as an essential service in our community by the city, by the state. There were risks, of course. Our guests thanked us. One man came up to me and said, "I appreciate you all for staying open. We have no place else to go." That day we served 1,100 people. Safety was an issue with our people. We wanted to spread people out, socially distance them. And so we were able to rent a building right around the corner from us, the Asterisk building, and we're able to spread people out and continue to offer our services. Another event that happened was the Denver Rescue Mission closed because they opened up a building, the Coliseum, and because of that, they didn't have the staff to keep the downtown branch open. They closed their doors, and what happened was there was no food then being distributed in our community. I made a couple calls, and within 48 hours, we had people sign up for the next month, which turned into months, bringing bag lunches every day to St. Francis Center. And we were able to alleviate some of the hunger that people would have experienced without these two groups of people, the Women's Homelessness Initiative and the Catholic Worker Soup Kitchen. I've been just surprised and really warm to my heart that people have bring supplies throughout this 7 months of the pandemic. People have called and said, "What can I do?" People have sent checks in the mail. People were told to go home and close their doors and insulate themselves from everyone else. you and many others went home and closed your doors, but kept your hearts open to the neediest of our community. Again, it touched my heart with the generosity. It seemed like people just couldn't stop giving, and they found ways to continue to support our guests. You have shown to our community what caring is about. You have been that community of compassion and justice. You have kept our people going. You have kept our people alive. Thank you. We now have our first video story for you about the history of St. Francis Center as it paralleled the history of Denver over the past 37 years. You might recognize some of the pictures. You might not, because Denver has changed a lot, as has St. Francis Center.
And has your mustache as well. Watch for the mustache, y'all.
In Denver's early days, the city served as a remote western hub for people joining the gold rush. By 1983, nearly 100 years later, Denver had a population of 1.4 million. From its young Wild West days, the city had become a place of opportunity, of adventure, where people looked to make their way, make a living, and make a home. Sadly, in the 80s, Denver began to see more of its community members on the streets, living in poverty and experiencing homelessness. The Denver Post reported the 80s as the second worst economic period in Colorado's history after the Great Depression. During this downturn, many residents were left without jobs, without homes, and without hope. Reverend Bert Womack, a leader in the Episcopal Diocese of Colorado, recognized the critical needs of a growing population of people living in poverty and homeless. In 1983, Bert joined with the Episcopal Church to establish the Pastoral Care Center, a small day shelter that offered men and women experiencing homelessness a safe place to spend the day. The center served between 50 to 60 people a day in its first year, but as the number of men and women needing a safe daytime refuge increased, the Pastoral Care Center, now named St. Francis Center, SFC, began looking for a larger space. In 1985, SFC bought and renovated the building on 2323 Curtis Street, moving the day shelter operations to the Curtis Park neighborhood. 3 years later, the center entered into partnership with Trinity United Methodist Church to provide basic employment services to guests seeking stable, long-term employment. By the end of the 90s, SFC added a health clinic, and its second and current executive director, Tom Lewers, had been at the helm for 7 years. Since the move to Curtis Street, SFC has continued to adapt and meet the needs of Denver's growing homeless population, becoming a multi-service provider of shelter, outreach, employment, and housing. As visible homelessness increased in the 2000s, street outreach was started in 2005. The outreach team is made up of mobile staff who build relationships and connections with Denver's unsheltered men and women needing support and services. At the same time, it was also becoming clear that case-managed housing was the long-term solution to homelessness. By 2008, SFC completed construction on its first housing project, the Cornerstone Residences at St. Francis Center, providing 50 previously homeless men and women with their own apartments and regular case management support and other supportive services. In 2018, SFC opened its second apartment building, the St. Francis Apartments at Cathedral Square. This building provides housing and support services to 50 men and women previously homeless, some having their own homes for the first time in many years. Presently, renovations are ongoing on the historic Warren Methodist Church, located on the corner of 14th and Gilpin. A beautifully remodeled space will open in 2021, marking SFC's third housing facility, with 48 workforce units, providing residents a stable, affordable home while they work and get back on their feet. Today, the SFC Day Center welcomes an average of 800 people daily, 7 days a week, year-round. The day center offers guests access to mail and storage, showers, clothes, social services, and medical care. We have come a long way since 1983, both as a city and as an organization serving some of our city's most vulnerable. The population of Denver has doubled since our founding, with the city consistently ranked as one of the fastest growing cities in the country. Metro Denver's most recent point-in-time survey shows that Denver has approximately 5,755 people experiencing homelessness on any given night. As these numbers have risen, the St. Francis Center has developed a holistic approach to coming alongside our guests, offering opportunities to rebuild what has been lost. For as long as necessary, we will continue to meet the needs of our community members who are experiencing homelessness, providing core services and the types of additional support that truly direct our guests away from homelessness. And we will only be able to continue to do this with your help. We can do this when our city, our churches, our schools, our neighborhoods, and our businesses come together as one community. We hope you will join us in this work tonight. Join us to make Denver truly a place of opportunity and hope for all its residents. Help us to make Denver home for all members of our community, housed and unhoused. Because together, we serve.
Man, that is an awesome video. And I'm not going to lie, I teared up once or twice just because, like I was saying earlier, Tom, we live near Maury Middle School and we saw what happened over the summer. And we just thought, who out there is actually doing God's work? Who is being of service? And I see every Saturday what you guys do. It blows me away. And I now understand, Tom, why they call you Tom Selleck. Your mustache was amazing. Who out there would like, Tom, in chat, wouldn't you like him to grow the mustache back? Show a chat hands over there. I think you should bring it back, my friend.
Well, we'll see what the vote comes out, yes or no, but I'll just let you know my wife has the final veto on this. So
You said it the other day, my wife has the most important vote, and so far she's voting no. I don't know. You look good either way, I got to be honest.
thank you. Thank you.
And
I just thought the video brought out so well how things have changed in our city. And really, St. Francis Center has tried to respond to the changes, especially amongst our people who experience homelessness. And so one of the things we need to be, and we are looking at and talking about and trying to plan, is how do we help those people who are out on the streets like you experienced, those people who are camping out, those people who are in tents. I just want to also give a shout out that our staff are a powerful group of people who are so committed to what is going on. Our volunteers are wonderful people who are also very committed, loving people. And without them and without all our donors and supporters, we couldn't really do what we are doing. And what happened during the pandemic is when we lost our volunteers, we had to literally bring in the National Guard to replace them. They came for a while, and since that time, we've had to hire additional staff who've stepped into the roles of service well. But it's been a trying time for people, and people have really stepped up and showed their hearts.
yeah, it's amazing to think about how many places have had to close down or shut down. But St. Francis Center, I'll bet in all your years, Tom, you never thought of all the challenges you face with getting people housed and serving those who experience homelessness. You never thought there could ever be a year quite like this, but you have totally soared, and money helps make it happen. So tonight, we're going to crank up the wallets, get the purses out, and make it happen. And I wish I could see everybody out there, don't you, Tom? Because it is kind of a virtual party, but we have a sense of it. We have just a few of the 200 people joining us virtually, and they are safely, Tom, they are safely quarantined together because they're all close. So let's see, Adam and Team Quarantine, are you guys out there tonight?
We know they're on. They're
We know
here.
they're there.
They're not showing.
Okay.
Here they
We're
are.
coming.
We hear you. There they are.
Yay.
Good
Hi,
to see you
gang.
guys.
Good to see you all.
Great to be here. We're so excited. We're loving the show.
What's going on there? What kind of party favors you got? You got popcorn, you got candy, what's going on?
Nothing really.
Root beer.
You got a root beer, huh?
I like those T-shirts. Could you show them off to everybody? Yes, very nice.
Well, this is our
And you
quarantine.
too can
parade.
have one. Those of you in the audience, we will have those available for you.
Yeah, introduce the quarantine team. Tell us who's there with you.
Okay, so this is my brother-in-law, Keith Love, my lovely wife, Stacy Yauk, my daughter, Annie Yauk, Shannon Love, Keith Love, this is Clyde Love, and Keenan Love, all my nephews. And Shannon used to work at the shelter, so a long time ago.
A very long time ago.
It
You all
wasn't
look
that long.
fantastic. I have to say, I think your daughter may get the future TV news anchor.
She loves to hear that.
Good smile on that face. Yeah.
Would you like to
It's an
say
honor to
anything
meet.
else?
It's
Go
an
ahead.
honor to meet Chris Parente. It's really cool to meet you.
Right back at you, my friend. You guys want to say anything before we let you go? It's so good to see everybody together like this.
No, we hope you raise a lot of money, and
Yeah.
thanks everybody. We'll miss you. We hope to see you guys next year.
We hope
Yeah.
to see you soon. For those of you that we've seen at the event for years gone by, years in the past, we hope to see you sometime soon.
And mostly for everybody that's working there or volunteering at the St. Francis Center, we just really appreciate what you're doing for the community, because that's the most important thing. So thank you
Absolutely.
to everybody out there that falls into that
Amen.
category.
Crack open that root beer. The party started. You all crack it open. That's what it's all about. I hope wherever you are watching, like our watch party, you're having fun wherever you're doing it as well. Cool stuff. Now we have another video, Tom, and this one is not just about support and service, but how people at SFC actually support each other. You often wonder who's actually benefiting from an interaction, and it really goes both ways. So take a look.
Yes, I'm disabled, and I was cut off from my benefits about a couple of years ago. And by not working or receiving my benefits, it forces me to be homeless.
Ray came in on Monday, and he had a problem. It was through our walk-in hours, and he had an emergency. He needed his medication. He needed some critical medication, and he hadn't gotten paid. And so I listened to him, and I really did care. And when he told me that he was going to get paid soon, but needed to get his medication that he hasn't been able to refill, that was an emergency to me. It was important to me.
By not having the resources that could have helped me and prevented me from being homeless, those benefits all of a sudden was taken away from me.
He seemed a little hesitant to ask, and then I just said, "What can I help you with? What's going on?" And then when he told me, I started brainstorming, thinking of the different grants, and went to my supervisor. We made it work, and so I called the pharmacy, tried to arrange how we were going to do it. And Ray was very patient. He was very happy when I told him, "Listen, we're going to help you. We can do this." Even driving to work yesterday morning, I thought of him, and I just thought how he kind of recharged my battery, because it was an immediate, I can't fix everything, I can't fix the situation, but I could make it bearable.
Yeah, and starting to realize that, homelessness is not something that the experience that I'm having so far is not something nice to have. It's just hard to really find the words to really say how I feel and going through this transition. And how Lisa made a difference in my life, because she was very uplifting when I spoke with her, and she is still uplifting to me.
We are all here for a common goal, which is to make somebody's life better in a tough situation. So knowing that the people that are next to me and the people that I'm helping, we all have a sense of need that's being filled. My need to try to help somebody's life improve, and somebody's need to get their life, to help their life be improved. And the sense of community of St. Francis has, it's very empowering and just very positive.
Coming to St. Francis, I guess it was one of the best things that I did at that time, because I really needed the medication. And through Lisa, we were able to get it done, and she helps me to get my medication. I thank her very, very much.
And Ray helped me because it showed me that a program can work.
Besides, with all the stuff that is going on, this was really, really uplifting experience for me. I thank her very much for helping me get my medication.
That's another awesome story. Elisa and Ray, both two really cool people. And I'm reminded, Tom, of the old saying, right? It is in giving that we truly receive. And there's a perfect example of it. So much is going on. You know, when you volunteer, Tom, at the center, you see sort of the front line stuff, but you don't even realize how many connections are being made behind the scenes, do you?
Yeah, that's so true, Chris. And I think it's seemingly a small thing. It's maybe, $20, $30, but it makes such a huge difference in someone's life. And there's nobody else to do that, And so, people who are helping us tonight, donating to us tonight, we're just trying to show that it's a lot of small things that really can change people's lives. One of the stats that we like to share with people is that of the 10,000 people, different people who will walk through St. Francis Center's doors in a year, 8,000 of those people get the help they need to turn things around within 34 days or less. So it's those small things. Some people need more help, certainly, and getting somebody in housing or getting somebody a job is huge. But sometimes what they need is a shower, right, or they need somebody talking to them on our outreach team and our employment office. And that human connection sometimes is most important, because people feel validated. They see their human dignity is lifted. They are important.
Amen. So well said. And speaking of the human connection, I'm just being told here, we have almost, Tom, 400 people watching tonight. See, so there's a benefit of Zoom. We got more people in some ways than we could hold in a banquet hall. That to me is incredible. Hi, everybody. I'll chat with every one of you in the chat before all is said and done. And also, Michelle wants you to know they're doing their own wine ring toss at home right now, and they're up to 14 bottles. Good for you. Now, listen, we want to talk about the different programs, because I know, Tom, I've learned a lot about what goes on. Not I volunteer, but I just sort of see what happens at the day center. You talk about getting folks ultimately into a place they can call their own, which is really the mayor's goal, the governor's goal, and your goal too. And I think this next video that we're going to see really kind of shows you the fortitude and the individual relationships that y'all forge there at St. Francis Center that make that transition possible. Take a look.
That building's been open, it'll be 3 years in January. So I've known Abby since she moved in almost 3 years ago. When I first met Abby, she was very distrustful, very fearful, very anxious, really did not want to spend much time with people at all, including staff.
I've been clean for about 6 years and got housed 2 years, almost 3 years ago, like Elizabeth was saying, and it's a good thing.
I met Abby about 2 weeks after I started in this job at Colfax and Broadway. She was out there with a group of, or at least one other person. We just started talking, and then I would continue to see her around this downtown area, and we just built a relationship and got to know each other and build trust and rapport with her, and then eventually we were able to make some progress on a lot of the goals that she had.
The next time I saw her was at the Network, just right down the street from where I'd eventually live before this was put in here. And she was always very accepting, and so I would always talk to her even if I was pretty out there.
I think the most important piece of street outreach, more than connecting people to resources, it's being present with folks on the street, building trust, building that rapport, and just really being a consistent presence in the person's life. And by building relationship with someone on the streets, you inherently build their own capacity to believe in themselves and be able to dream of a different life, and be able to help them get to that point. I've now known Abby for 7 years, and she's been housed for the last almost 3. And so I think maintaining that relationship and kind of walking someone through that experience is just the most valuable thing.
Kathy is my Valium. She's able to calm me down when nobody else can. And she's just always there for me. Because I'm not always one to ask for help, I'm glad that Kathy will ask me, hey, what are we doing here? What do we need to do? Because I'm kind of one of those that needs a little direction.
Abby has blossomed into herself in every way. She knows how to come up and talk when she's anxious and needing to work through something. She knows how to come up to vent when she's overwhelmed by something or angry about something. She's not afraid of expressing herself. She's become a leader in this building. Abby's overcome a lot of things in her life that allows her to help other people navigate them, but also just completely accept them and be able to be there for them and talk through things that are hard.
I'm just glad I'm here. I didn't think I'd be here. Like 3 years ago, I didn't think I would ever be sitting here. I didn't feel like, and some days I still don't feel like I deserve a place to live, but I've got it. So I'm just glad to have it.
I tear up easily, but one of my favorite moments is when you open the door when someone is first moving in and you say, welcome home. Because to be able to offer home and stability to folks who haven't had that in a long time and maybe ever had a sense of home is really important, and it feels wonderful. I won't say the work's always easy because people come with a lot of complicated parts of their lives, but housing is the first step in beginning to become stable and work on those other areas in your life.
Seeing one person do really well and accomplish what they want for themselves makes the bigger issue of homelessness or the bigger issue of housing instability less intimidating when you see and can share in that experience with someone. It's amazing to kind of watch that happen. I had nothing to do with that. It was all Abby. It was all her strength and her courage, and just kind of being there with her to watch it happen. It's a beautiful thing.
You know, one of the things that I think St. Francis Center does well is they respect the dignity of people. And I will say that makes a difference always. Certainly something we do here. We see people, we accept them. St. Francis does that. When you do that, people don't have to pretend anymore and they can begin to move forward. We create so much change here in this building.
She's still here in this apartment building and is thriving and is just living a beautiful life, and is definitely grown into a person that I'm really proud of. And this work is special.
So we
Wow.
want to pass the Kleenex around to everyone. That's a very touching story. And yeah, I think Abby's a good person. And when somebody else can see that goodness and the dignity and the worth, it helps people to gain their individuality and their place in the world. Everybody does deserve housing.
Absolutely. So, hi everybody. Hi Tom. Thank you.
Kathy.
The program is fantastic. I am loving all of these videos. I'm noticing my hair. And just like many of you I've seen on your chat, it really makes you teary. Anyway, I'm Kathy Rudolph, and I am so honored to be here tonight. I'm a St. Francis Center board member, and I'm also lucky enough to be a weekly volunteer at the day shelter. I'm here this evening to share with you what we are raising money for tonight. Tonight is about all of us giving to the St. Francis Center so that we can see more people like Abby get a home of their own and become thriving members of their residential communities. The SFC provides that one-on-one relationship that is so often the key to helping somebody out of crisis or helping someone navigate complex problems, all of which can move someone closer to having a home again. It costs the St. Francis Center $92,000 a year to provide for our guests' needs that are discovered in case management interactions like the ones that we have been lucky enough to see tonight with Lisa and Kathy and Elizabeth. Our case managers come alongside our guests and they walk them through critical transitions. Tonight, our goal together is to raise that amount, $92,000, so that our case managers continue that fantastic one-on-one work that they do that is so valuable and irreplaceable. So to help us with that, it is my honor to introduce our auctioneer for the evening, Mr. Don Martin. Don, welcome, and thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Oh my goodness, Kathy, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Thank you, and thank everybody for being here this evening. I just have to reiterate those videos. I'm just glad you had to follow the last one, and I'm glad that Chris Parente had to follow the other ones with Tom, because it took me a moment, and now I'm cool. But what a great reminder as to why we're all here tonight. Kathy, it's been 15 years I've been doing this. I wouldn't have missed this for anything.
Yeah, and you're coming to us all the way from the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. That's crazy.
I am. I'm in the UP, and I've been hearing a lot of remarks about my UP beard from all the people that I've been working with to get ready for this evening. So all of you can have a good laugh. No, I will not be coming down your chimney this year, but it's cold up here, so we have to do what we have to do. What can I say? But truly, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. You heard Kathy talk about the $92,000, a very ambitious goal. But I know you folks. I've looked every one of you in the eye. I've hugged you. I've kissed you. I can see you sitting at your tables in a venue right now, and all of us getting together. So what do you say?
So we can do it. So over to you. Thank you, Don, and thank you everyone for being a part of the St. Francis Center. We could not do this work without you.
Thank you so much, Kathy. This is so cool. Well, you know, $92,000, it's a lot of money, but I saw Kathy earlier with the cocktails, so it's possible that she had enough to drink that maybe she just wants to write a check for $92,000 and we can get on with this. What do you think? Oh, see, She's not there anymore. It's funny how that works when you ask somebody for $92,000. Hey, listen, seriously, you've heard me for years say this, but it bears repeating. Two things I want you to keep in mind as we go out on this journey together. One person's $10,000 is another person's 1,000, yet another's 100. So please remember, there is no right dollar amount to give this evening. If the person that you know was able to give more money, God bless them. It's what we all do cumulatively that counts. So let's please remember that. The other thing I want to share with you is I have never, ever woken up the day after an event and said, drat, I wish I hadn't given that money to help out a fellow human being. Never felt that way. I might have felt that way on Amazon or eBay where I shouldn't have put buy it now or shouldn't have bought something impulsively, but I've never regretted doing something to help somebody out. So spend freely. It actually will enrich your life. We're going to pick an arbitrary number to start with. $25,000. And just so you know, Linda from Boulder Events is going to come in and clarify how you can electronically raise your paddle, if you will. Linda, are you out there?
Don,
There she-
of course.
there
I'm
she
here.
is.
I'm
Good.
here in the virtual world. I'm so happy to see you remotely.
Thank
And
you.
just a reminder, everybody, normally we would be raising our paddles now tonight with Don up there on the stage. Tonight we can't do that. So hopefully you all have a link, have received a text from 56651. If you click the link in that text, all you have to do is click on that green donate button. And that's how you can make a donation at any time tonight. And as always, you can certainly pay with a credit card through your phone. And if you would prefer to write a check, that's totally great. Just go ahead and make the donation and we'll send you an email after the event with information on how you can send your check in. And one last reminder to anybody who's having problems, questions, just wants us to put in a donation for you, you can contact Sarah at 720-400-1519 at any time. So back to you, Don. So thrilled to be here.
Thank you so much. Great to see you, Linda. I'll tell you, Sarah must be a very popular young lady tonight. I have a feeling she's getting a lot of phone calls, but she's so smart. She knows how to get everybody on track. So we'll all be able to give money when we're ready to. Now, look, I'm going to start at the $25,000 level, and obviously we're not in the same room, so I don't know always who gives what, but I'm going to have some information fed to me throughout the course of the evening. I'm going to go through some of these levels. We've got 20,000. If there's anybody out there that could, I mean, that's a huge amount of money. $20,000. We have the $15,000 level. Just to give you some perspective, $15,000 would, for a year, provide housing and support services for a resident. An entire year, $15,000. We have $10,000, which again, so you can relate to it, $10,000 would provide employment services for 100 clients. So that could be work boots. Hang on. Joyce and Bill, oh my goodness gracious, God bless you, $10,000. Past board member Bill, longtime volunteers, both of them. My goodness gracious, folks, we are alive and running. $10,000. I was starting to say that $10,000 could be for tools, for uniforms, for workwear, or it could be for social services, which are so needed. And it would provide for 10 clients, which could be eviction prevention. It could be rapid rehousing. So many possibilities. $7,500 is, wow. Okay, hot in off the press. Look at this. The angels are definitely looking upon us this evening. Ann and Rusty just gave $7,777.77. For those of you that understand that number, you'll know why I said angels are looking upon us this evening. Longtime volunteers. Rusty is the, present board chair. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. That takes your breath away. $5,000, another very significant level. $5,000 this is remarkable. Talk about making a buck go a long way. 250 clients would receive social service needs with that kind of dough. That could be identification intervention. That could be ID for housing or for jobs, or it could provide employment services for 25 clients to help them get the certifications they need for trade positions, $5,000.
Hey, Don,
Yeah,
it's
yes,
Linda. I
yes.
just needed to chime in on this one. We do have a donor at the $5,000 level.
Yes.
Shannon Love.
Oh, awesome, awesome. That's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. That's great. Wow. Hey, how about this? We just got one in from, I mean, some people are just remarkable. We just got $4,000 from an anonymous family. And I don't know if you know them. I've never met the anonymous family, but I think that's awesome to do that. And oh, we just got, Nancy and Diane just gave $3,000. Nancy's board chair, past board chair, and Nancy and Diane just gave $3,000. Thank you so much. $2,500 is another level, housing and supportive services for 2 months, wraparound support for residential stability. Guess what? $2,500 will pay for prescriptions for 60 clients for an entire month. That's pretty cool. Oh, we just got MJ, thank you, longtime volunteer, $2,000 from MJ. That's fantastic. We have $1,500 level. Wow. $1,000 level. Here's a good one. Mass transit access for 9 workers monthly bus passes. You know, the things we don't even think of, the things that we take for granted. What do? We just hop in the car and heck, we don't even turn a key. Most of us, we just push a button now, you know. Here's $1,000 can provide transportation for 9 workers. Oh, Kip and Marianne, thank you. Kip. Oh, I wish I could give you a big hug. Past board chair, $1,000. Alan Elaine just gave $1,000. Of course, Al's a board member, and we just got $1,000 from Kathy, another previous board member. Oh, my, and the list goes on and on. This is crazy. I'm going to stop after this, but Jay, thank you. Jay's a volunteer with Catholic Worker Soup Kitchen. Just gave $1,000. So let's keep pushing those green buttons. This is awesome.
Hey,
thank
Don.
you.
It's
Yes.
Linda. I don't think we should stop quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and give, you know, we have Andrew who gave $1,500.
Wow.
So, you know, you were talking about 1,000 and he gave 1,500. We also have, we have a whole lot of donors at the $1,000 level. So Kurt Watson, Jeff Rudolph, Jen Thompson. It's honestly amazing, Don. They are coming in like you can't even believe. So just
You know,
amazing.
who says 2020 is a bad year? How can you say that on a night like tonight? Golly, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Linda. That is so cool. So I'm just gonna, these are suggested amounts. Then we're gonna say $750. Perhaps you could give $750. That would be awesome. And as I'm going to keep moving along, it doesn't mean you can't go back and give any one of those other amounts. $500 goes so far. Social service needs for 25 clients with $500. It could provide cab fare to Denver Health instead of them having to use emergency services. We could provide that for 38 guests at $500. As a matter of fact, Linda, out there in virtual land, put down Martin Auctioneering, if you would, please, for $500. I don't have my phone set up to do the bidding process, but I'm good for it. Andrew knows where I live. Put me down for $500. And folks, if any of you can join me at that $500 level, please, I ask you to do so right now. Let's make a big splash. Let's make a big impact at the $500 level.
Don, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for your donation. And I think you've inspired people out there. By my count right now, we currently have 15, 16, 17 people giving at that $500 level. So just amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. You folks are amazing. Oh my goodness gracious. That's awesome. Wow. Okay, this is live, so let's keep it moving here. There's no time for this emotional stuff. Well, how about $250? Again, that's a lot of money, and I understand that. But remember, it goes so far, and it's funny what we relate dollars to. I think Tom was referencing sometimes it's $30 for the medication, and yet the humility and the kindness and what that did to serve not only the client, the guest, but also the staff member. I mean, $30. So here we are at $250. We have a real opportunity to do something at that level too. And I'll tell you what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is I'd like to take a quick break and come back with you in a minute, but I'd like to show you one more video. They really knocked these videos out of the park this year. So I'm going to ask you all to hang on, and I'm going to go to a video now. Thank you.
I started working with David a year ago in about October of 2019. He had just moved to Denver from Missouri and found himself homeless in a city with no friends or family. David was a guest at the St. Francis Center Day Shelter, where he was referred to our Employment Services Department. I was assigned to be David's case manager, and that's when we began working together. I assessed his skills and aptitude, and I discovered that David has a passion for cooking. We developed a professional resume highlighting his strengths and his kitchen skills. Soon after that, David was hired by SSA Group to work in the kitchen at the National Western Complex.
Without Rick on my side, I think I would have never made it because I didn't have nobody to talk to. No family was speaking with me or calling or checking on my situation.
In one of our meetings, I remember David saying, "I'll do anything to not live on these streets any longer." With stable income, permanent housing became a possibility for David. We found David a perfect apartment about a block away from here, felon-friendly, in his price range, and rapidly moved him in by providing assistance with his first month's rent and deposit.
I would have failed without that support because every time I accumulated a certain amount of money, it was like it was going out on other things of just costly living, of trying to keep clothes for work, washing clothes, and just trying to maintain in a homeless situation where people were stealing things from me constantly. I was constantly getting robbed of my wallet, phone, everything. I had to keep replacing everything, basically.
David's journey has been one of perseverance and determination. He has shown radical acceptance and humility. David has developed life skills such as budgeting and self-care. He has built a new life. David is now self-sufficient, and in fact, he is about to sign a second-year lease on his apartment.
Oh, Rick is great. I mean, it's like we're a dream team, pretty much. It's like he's there when I need him, and pretty much I'm here if he needs him. It's like we're family, really, because I just brought him some lunch like last week. Rick's so dear to me. He's more than a case manager to me. He's a great friend of mine.
It's been like riding a wave with ups and downs. When times got hard and David lost his job due to COVID, fell behind on his rent, he met with me, and together we figured out a plan to avert disaster.
It's like a whole new world for me. It's like now I have a greater peace, more confidence in myself. I'm engaged now to my fiance. I'm about to get married, and everything is just going great except for the COVID, but it really was perfect timing, like I said. I just thank God for it, really, because if I had never met Rick, I don't think, his energy just kind of energizes me. It's pretty much like we charge each other up.
We are all in this together. We are not meant to go at this alone. We need each other, and we need the support of each other. That is the community we are trying to build here. So whether it's the community we are building with our clients, or the community we are building with our funders and partner agencies, this is a group effort and would not be possible without the community.
Wow, Rick. Oh, I couldn't have said it any better. You're right. We are all in this together. We need each other. That's what this is all about. It's community. That is truly a wonderful, wonderful video. Boy, David, what an articulate, savvy guy. I'm so glad that he's improved his position in life through the efforts of Rick and St. Francis Center. So let's have some fun. We've all been to a football game. You've all been to my events. You know I love to do this at the end of the paddle raiser, and that is I like to do a wave. So let's make believe we're at Empower Field. By the way, a supporter of St. Francis Center. That's right. So we're at Empower Field, and we're going to do a $100 wave through the entire stadium. Are you up for that? All you have to do, you can wave. We won't know it, but you will. Up, up. We got our watch party here. They're waving. There we go at $100. And then just hit that green button and let's see how many hundreds of dollars we can get pouring in here. We got the quarantine team doing the $100 wave. Right on, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, Don, it's Linda. I'm
Yes.
going to just go ahead and say, we have the $100 wave going. We also have a $500 wave going and a $250 wave. So by my count, we right now have 18 people at $500, 13 at $250. And we have Emily and Pamela and Kathy and Shelly, Joan, Wendy, Andrew, Brendan, the $100 wave. I mean, it's crazy, crazy,
Gosh,
crazy.
that
Nancy.
gives you goosebumps. That's so fantastic. I love hearing this. You know, Linda, I know you can hear me even if I can't see you right now. But this crowd, and I call them a crowd because they're a force to be reckoned with, and they have year in and year out. They wear their emotions on their sleeves. They put their money where their mouth is. They do everything they can to help out these guests year after year, and there was never a doubt in my mind, virtual or not, that we weren't going to unite as a community and do this all together. It never did I think we wouldn't.
Hey, Don, I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. And
Yes.
I just want to give a reminder too. I'm seeing donations come in at $150. I see one that is $75. And I just wanted to give a reminder. You said this early on, but that whatever amount you want to give, if the $250 level doesn't work or the $100, every dollar counts. And so if you don't see a level that works for you, there is always that custom box. You can enter any amount that feels good.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, I always joke. I say, I don't care if you want to give $8.52. It all makes a difference. So it's nice that I didn't realize that there's a box where they can put in any custom amount. So that means if someone wanted to put in $100,000, they could type that in there. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And
I just wanted to put that out there.
just, that can absolutely be done. And, I just got a message from Sarah too. I think we do
Yes.
have some people out there that maybe don't have the text or they don't understand how to make a donation. So you guys, if you can call Sarah at 720-400-1519, but if you can't, don't have the link and just want to give your donation into the chat, if you put your donation amount, say, I want to give $125 into the chat, we will, follow up with you after the event. So that is totally fine too.
Great. Now, may I ask, how much time did the folks have? And I'm sorry, I don't have this in my information. How much time do they have? Like, when does this close for them to be able to donate for this part of the program towards this $92,000?
Don, it's a good question. We'd love it if everybody can get their donations in tonight, of course.
Sure.
But we will keep the donation button open through the weekend until Sunday evening. So if anybody wants to help us we are getting so close to that $92,000 goal.
Really?
But if anybody wants to help us throughout the weekend, or another idea is if you have a friend, your sister, your brother, somebody who you think might want to give, you can, encourage them to register and give a donation also.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we don't have an exact accounting right now, but you say we are getting close to the $92,000 target?
Yeah, we are getting really close.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, everybody should applaud. Everybody should, I'm coming from the UP. in Michigan. I don't know how far other people might be, but let's not be presumptuous. Maybe not everybody's in Colorado. Maybe they're in Florida, or that it snowed the other day and they all ran out of town. But I bet you we could darn near hear the clapping, because you deserve that. Big cheers to all of you. I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to turn it back over to my new friend, Chris Parente. I think the world of this guy. He's a good man. And Tom, I've always thought a lot of, and tonight, with or without mustache, he's the man. So I'm going to turn it back over to the boys. I'm going to say God bless you and thank you for your support. Thank you for your help to St. Francis Center, and enjoy the remainder of your evening.
Hey, Don, thank
Yes.
you. You did an incredible job tonight. To think that we're going to match and meet our goal on a year that we're virtual is a testament to your energy and your love. I call you Santa Claus with hair gel. That's what urban hipster Santa. You did a great job.
Thank you very much. All of you. God bless and good night.
From the UP of Michigan, that's something else. I'll tell you what, Tom, it's been a great night. And before we wrap it up, I do want to remind folks, as I think we have before, if technology just ain't your thing and you still would like to donate, you can still write an old-fashioned check. I think I have a checkbook. I haven't cut a check in a long time, but you can do it. You can write on a check and you can deliver it in person to the St. Francis Center. I think most of us know where it is there on Curtis Street. It's 2323 Curtis Street. So that's another way. If you feel more comfortable doing an old-fashioned check, we'll take it.
Great. And thank you all so much for showing your compassion tonight, showing your interest, your support, your love for St. Francis Center and all the different people who are involved with St. Francis Center. Really good people. I want to thank Andrew, too, for his efforts. Chris, great job. Don, thank you. Kathy, Linda and your team, Amanda. It wasn't an easy thing to do, and I'm glad I didn't have to do it. I just got to show up and get on the camera, but thank you all. And a special thanks to, again, our volunteers, our staff, our donors, our board of directors. Many people make St. Francis Center what it is, and we appreciate each of you.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I wanted to say thank you for letting me be a part of the night. The real honor is when my husband and I come to volunteer every Saturday. That's the honor. And I want all of you watching, 400 folks watching, I want you to know that when you wake up in the morning and you tune to Channel 2, I hope you'll realize I'm not just the guy reading the news. I'm somebody who cares like you do. And I'm always, my email, my phone is always on. If you've got a story of success like what we've heard tonight, we're all in this together. And so I hope you'll remember that when you wake up tomorrow morning. We're on here all morning long. And I want to remind folks too that Tom, you're going to stay on for a little bit. So is Amanda and Andrew. Stay in the chat room anyway, so they can answer questions or chit chat with you. Any questions you've got. Tom, you'll stay in the chat room for a while, won't you?
Yes, we will be here.
Excellent. I might chat your ear off myself. And I want to thank everybody for being a part of a great night. I think it's mind-blowing what we can do when we come together to be of service, even in 2020. Like I said at the very beginning, 2020 I consider to be a bad year when beautiful things can still happen. And tonight was an example of that. So thanks to everybody. Stay safe, stay well. I'll see you down there at Curtis Street on Saturdays. And hopefully, I'm trying to give you, I can give you a virtual hug. Tom, it's going to work, Tom. Come on, lean in for the kiss, Tom. It's as good as we'll get this year.
We appreciate you.
We'll see you next year in person, I hope. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.